and establish himself, the young lad from Northants. Good lane draw, 2 in 5. Got people outside him to chase. Doesn't have to run too tight a curve on the bend.
Julian Thomas in the West Midlands set the championship record just a couple of years ago. 20.98, the best ever performance. The wind assessed it was Mike McFarlane, 30 years ago now. I remember him dead heating in the Commonwealth Games all those years ago with Alan Wells. Owaladi, London. McIntosh, Humberside. Tandy, Hampshire. Lennon Ford, West Midlands. Taylor, Northants. Wackpay, London. King of Berkshire. Smith of the West Midlands. The senior boys. 200 metres final.
Set.
5, I think, lane 5. Sean Taylor might have been
57. Would you give me
responsible for that false start. He was a runner-up in his heat, 18-year-old, who won the intermediate title a couple of years ago.
Yes, it was lane 5, no doubt about it. Sean Taylor there, coming up to the nerves, getting to the youngster. I suspect worried about Chris Tandy, the heat winner in lane 3, who has run 21.7 already this year, the lad from Hampshire. Tandy then was 33. Slightly tighter lane or curve on the bend there from lane 3 to contend with. But the 17-year-old will have Lennon Ford outside him in his sights, and importantly Sean Taylor in 5.
Taylor in the blue vest and black shorts, lane 5. The all red is worn by Lennon Ford in 4.
Set.
And in the red top and white shorts, it's Tandy, and it's another false start. And I just wonder whether it was Lennon Ford this time. It was certainly close between him and the first culprit, Taylor.
That was a tough one to spot, Alan. I thought it was Lennon Ford for West Midlands in lane 4.
And he seems to have acknowledged that. He was runner-up to Chris Tandy in his heat number 1. Fastest time in the age group this year is 20.92, set by the Sale athlete Alex Nelson, who's not in this final. In fact, none of the 3 fastest athletes over 200 metres are here.
Well, that just turns up the pressure a little bit more, Alan. But of course, this is what these lads will have to contend with in major championships in years to come. So great experience, this.
2 false starts already as they settle for the 3rd time. And this time they are away. In lane 5, it was Sean Taylor who made the most impressive start and has run a very fine bend here. Taylor of Northamptonshire. Intermediate champion a couple of years ago. The pressure coming in from Owaladi on the inside, and also McIntosh in lane 2, and he's fading a little bit, and Wackpay on the outside also making a challenge. But right in lane 3 it was Tandy who had the best finish of all in what was a really close race there. The leadership changed hands a couple of times in the home straight, but Tandy had the strongest finish, and the heat winner, a 17-year-old from Portsmouth, the UK Schools Games champion, is now also English Schools champion.
Well, didn't Sean Taylor get away quickly in lane 5 in the blue? He's already up there, 3rd from left on the athlete outside him, Wackpay. But he died badly coming into the straight. He probably went too hard round the bend, and this is a tough event to get right at 200 metres. You can't go flat out round the bend because you really do feel it down the home straight. And there he is, centre of picture in the blue, leading, but they're coming past him now in hordes. Tandy in lane 3, running very, very strongly. Big lad too, very powerfully built, and that's a good win from him. 2nd place, I think, Owaladi over in lane 1, who contended with that tight bend very, very well indeed. 22.07, useful running.
Well, he was celebrating as he crossed the line. He knew. It looked closer than that from where we're sitting, I can assure you. Well, I can't think that there's any track and field event anywhere that packs in quite so many events so quickly as this. Pause for breath, and off we go with the intermediate girls. 1500 metres. Catherine Blue of Somerset, Gemma Coe, Cambridgeshire, Monique Powell, West Midlands, Lily Partridge, Surrey, Kate Avery, Durham, Rebecca Craigie, Cheshire, Martha Reynolds, Middlesex, Georgia Ball of Lincolnshire, Grace Nichols, Kent, Laura Waitman, Northumberland. 3 3/4 laps of the track. And maybe the ones to watch here, Monique Powell, who wears 83, Lily Partridge from Surrey, 77, Kate Avery of Durham, who was a runner-up in Heat 2, and Rebecca Craigie of Cheshire, who won the opening heat. Tim.
Well, Kate Avery, wearing 25 for Durham, was involved in a fantastic race last year. She was second in the junior girls 1500, and I wonder whether or not she'll get right today. She led until the last few metres 12 months ago and was just denied the gold. Will she take it out again this time? Avery wears 25. That's her on the inside in the blue.
Rebecca Craigie, the early leader, in the black vest and red shorts, wearing number 11, and the athlete that Tim's been referring to, Kate Avery of Durham, number 25. 59, just to identify for you, is another Northumberland runner, Laura Waitman, the 16-year-old Northern and indeed United Kingdom Schools Games champion. The heats were certainly tactical, and it looks as though the final is going to follow a similar pattern here. Craigie still leads. Waitman moving up into second place, though no real significant move as they complete the first lap.
Well, the pace reasonable and not lightning fast. I wonder whether or not Rebecca Craigie here for Cheshire has got a race plan. All youngsters like this should be advised to come into races, middle distance races, with a plan. Have a plan A, have a plan B. If plan A gets messed up by somebody else, then be prepared for what else is thrown at you. And if she's got a good plan, then it may be to take the lead like this. Start off slowly and wind it up. That's a very, very difficult race tactic to contend with when you're behind an athlete. You want to take the lead, but the pace is getting quicker and quicker as you're trying to get past the leader.
Interesting athlete in about third or fourth place, 83, all in red, Monique Powell from West Midlands. She's only 14. She had won both her races over this distance before the championships, but she had to settle for a runners-up position in Heat 1, held yesterday. 2 laps to go in the intermediate girls 1500 metres. Rebecca Craigie leads, as she has from the start, in what's a fairly slow-paced race.
Well, just outside 71 seconds at 400 metres. Look out for Laura Waitman, fourth in this last year, so certainly capable of making the rostrum this time round. They come up to 800 metres now, and there it is, 2:26, and that lap a lot slower, 74.8, almost 75 seconds. Though she hasn't wound it up, but at the same time, the others, Alan, are making the mistake of allowing the Cheshire athlete Rebecca Craigie here to control it. She's calling the shots.
The championship record was set way back in 1979. An athlete called Louise Parker, representing Cumbria. I don't think that's under any threat here, as the 4 athletes now break away from the rest of the field, which is well strung out behind them. And still Rebecca Craigie of Cheshire leads. She had the day's fastest time in winning her heat in 4 minutes 37.21. Avery, the taller athlete in blue, still prominent, as indeed is Waitman in the yellow vest as they approach the bell now. And Monique Powell hasn't quite lost touch either, back in 4th, as Craigie now relinquishes first place as they move into the final 400.
Well, the previous 2 laps have been 71 seconds, then 74 seconds, but they've just begun to turn it on, coming down the home straight towards the bell. There's been a marked acceleration and is breaking up. It's all looking far too comfortable. This lap time will be significant. 72 there, so not really that much quicker. They've only been sprinting harder for the last 100 metres or so. 3:39 at 1200 metres, Alan, and now we're down to just 3 athletes, perhaps 2.
Craigie, the leader for so long, making a brave attempt to regain touch with the leading 2, who've got under 200 to go now. Waitman in the yellow vest, wearing number 59. And Avery in the blue from Durham, number 25. Waitman knows she's there, the 16-year-old, and it looks as though Avery's ready to pounce here as Waitman stretches out again. Craigie's looking confirmed for third place, and Waitman for first. It's Laura Waitman of Northumberland who wins the intermediate girls title over 1500 metres from Kate Avery, with the long-time leader Rebecca Craigie of Cheshire in third.
Well, didn't she run a smart final lap? Put herself out in front to be shot down. Was holding something back though. Came into the home straight and then just lengthened her strides. Not really pumping with the arms, flailing with the arms, but she moves very well from the waist downwards and has lovely, lovely long raking stride. And she won that quite comfortably. Here it is again, very relaxed, and she knows she's got it sewn up, doesn't she? She's moving well here, is Laura Waitman. As we mentioned, fourth last year in 4:37. She wins here in 4:29 with plenty in hand, I would say.
Okay, next on track, two more sprints. We've got the intermediate boys 100 metres, and also the senior girls 100 metres, and indeed the senior boys 100 metres. So the Sprint Kings are next in action here at the Alexander Stadium. Don't miss those races from the English Schools Championships.